What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this multi-time frame forecast. We're going to be going over Euro USD. Before we get started, I want you guys to do one thing, and that's just like this idea or comment down below. Not only does it support us, but it gives everyone else an opportunity to see these videos as well. Do us and everyone else a favor and like this video. There's more than enough money in the markets for everyone. No need to be greedy. So let's just get straight into it. So I already had this one marked up from several days ago, or several weeks, months ago. And we're still sitting on this tipping points for validation, and we're getting an inching closer and closer to validating the setup as a whole. So as always, if you guys don't remember, or if you guys have not seen why I have marked it up as so, please try to find the video in the past that explains how I'm doing it. I'll quickly cover what's going on. We have this descending trend line, and as you can see, it was tested, initiated, tested, and then confirmed 3 times. And right now we're testing it once more. So if we could confirm that this is in fact a significant trend line, then that is one piece of confluence for us to go downward. Next is we have this area of structure. If we look left, the chart always leaves clues, and we could see that this area of structure right here was a valid area of structure that allowed us to use for uh, trading in the future, which is where we're at now. So you can see the extension of this particular leg right here aligns perfectly with where price had lined up as well. And if we take a FIB extension of this leg, we can see that the 61 lines up with that area of structure. So we have 3 pieces of confluence right now. We have this impulsive, we don't have an impulsive leg to the downside. So we don't really have a pattern on the monthly time frame. However, we have 3 pieces of structural confluence, which is including one of the Fibonacci's, which is why we were looking for shorts. Now, if we go down, real quick. So I wanted to give you a quick update on what price would go, assuming that this area would end up being a reversal zone for us. So we have 2 different options. Based on the FIB extension alone, we have this TP1 right here, which as you can see is the 127 fib extension of that particular leg. However, there is significant area of structure right here, so it would be likely that you would need to close it manually at this 1049 level before, so that you're not having to be too greedy, although you are using a manual trailing stop, as I always recommend, so that you can strategically place your stop loss just above the previous structural high for the 4-hour time frame, or daily, depending on how you use it, so that you can dynamically scrape as many pips as possible. However, I would just be comfortable with you closing manually right here, because it isn't exactly a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio if you close manually, but it's a little bit better than losing your trade or breaking even if you didn't move your stop loss beyond the break-even point, assuming price comes down to this area. So that's why we're looking at potential closing manually right here. You might see some resistance right here, which would get you closer to like a 2.5, maybe a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. But based on this descending trend line on the monthly time frame, we could be seeing a stronger push downward. So let's go to the weekly real quick and see if we see any structural patterns. So based on a candlestick pattern right here, we don't really have anything. We just have this kind of teaser pop, which is an indecisive candle, which is kind of a good signal for us, saying the market isn't really sure where it wants to go. You could see it kept going down, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna go up, nah. And the body itself just was pretty neutral, with the wicks being relatively the same height as well, and then both of them being relatively the same to the body. So right now we're still waiting for this weekly candle close before we can make a definitive answer. So if we go down to the daily, let's just see what's going on here. As you would imagine, based on those candles, we're seeing a lot of consolidation. Potentially, we can have a head and shoulders pattern forming right here. So let's see. And just kind of show you more or less what that would look like. Head, shoulder, head. So if we can break this neckline, and then we could do something like this. Oops, wrong way. do something like this, then that would be a good confirmation because we're starting to treat this area as resistance. So if we can confirm that right here, that would be great. However, we are confirming this area of structure multiple times as resistance. So I would like to see just this other leg get completed so that we can have a little bit more validation. But I do want to see us make a break for a lower low. So we are staying pretty consistent at this level. We're still making higher highs. You can see right here, slightly higher. And then this one is pretty parallel with this one. However, we are starting to make lower lows. So that was our last high. So depending on how this candle closes, we are in fact making lower lows. So keep that in mind. We're still waiting. Potentially by the end of this week or as early as next week, we could be seeing something significant occur right here as well. But in the meantime, we're going to stay monitoring this. Make sure that your entry conditions are validated before entering this particular trade. And I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to tell us what pairs you want us to cover in future videos. But for now, this is Euro AUD. We have 3 pieces of confluence. We're waiting for confirmation. Make sure your entry conditions are satisfied before entering this trade. Use proper risk as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.